James with Fit Life Insight here. I'm a CrossFit Level 1 trainer and I constantly get questions about how to get deeper in the squat and how to drive through your heels on the way up. I just wanted to take a moment to look at a few hip flexor stretches to increase both the comfort and power in the bottom of your squat. Let's take a look. So what we have here on the left is a bad squat. As you can see at the very bottom, if I was to draw a line up from my heels, you would see that the majority of my weight, the majority of my mass is forward in this. That is causing my heels to come off the ground and it's causing me to not have balance driving up through the top of the squat. As well, these heels being off the ground, that causes a very quad dominant squat, not as strong as you would be driving through your heels. As well, that can lead to some injuries to the top of the knee there. That's why a lot of people get knee pain in their squats, is because they come up on their toes so much. Lastly, we aren't reaching full depth here. Some of these might be technique issues. However, this is a really good example of what really tight hip flexors will cause. All right guys, now on the right hand side, let's look at this squat. As you can see at the very bottom, drawing a line straight up from our heels again, our weight is pretty evenly distributed. I maintain contact with my heels throughout the whole squat there. That enables me to not get up on my toes and enables me to drive through my heels and utilize less of my quads and more of my glutes and hamstring muscles, just larger muscle groups there to utilize. Here are some stretches that we can utilize to gain some flexibility. Our first stretch here is a runner's stretch. We place that back knee on the ground and then we go into a forward lunge. To increase the efficacy of the stretch, you can go ahead and raise that opposite arm to your front knee, and then you can lift the back knee off the ground as well. Next up, we have a lizard stretch. Lizard is in a similar starting position to that runner's stretch. However, now you're going to be leaning over and trying to get that forward elbow to touch the ground and graze along the inside of your calf until you get to the ground there. To raise the difficulty, you can also take the back knee off the ground as well here. Next up, we do have our side lunge variations. It's important to work on that front to back flexibility as well as that side to side for the squat. So here we have our feet pretty wide. We go ahead and lunge it to the side and keep the other leg straight. Then to add difficulty for this as well, you can go ahead and place one hand on the ground and raise that other arm directly overhead. Last up, we have the butterfly and frog stretches. Frog stretches first, we will go ahead and push our knees out with our elbows, and then we'll lean forward onto our hands. We utilize our body weight here to accentuate the stretch and push our hips further apart. Similarly, for butterfly, we'll do the same except we're sitting down this time. We don't have the assistance of our body weight on this stretch, but it's still a good stretch here. My favorite is the last one where you kind of straddle the ground here. You let yourself sink back towards your heels, and then you let your chest and your shoulders fall forward. I really like to hold this one for a long time, maybe up to 5 minutes, just spending that time opening your hips and getting time stretching. For my last stretch, you will need a band to perform. However, in my opinion, this is the best stretch in which you can also build up strength as well. You'll be putting this band in your hip crease and lunging forward against this resistance. In addition to lunges, go ahead and get some static holds in which you can mirror your runner's position and your lizard pose for a fantastic stretch. And finally, my last note is for gentlemen here, just be a bit careful on the positioning and where the band's at. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching my video. If you have any questions or ideas for future videos, please leave them in the comments below. And if you like this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing for future content. See you guys next week. You should probably be able to see.
Yeah, because I couldn't see it in the video. I'm kidding, you adjusting.